So I've talked a lot about how authenticity is amazing. It is, and it's necessary. But now let's talk about how do we cultivate it? How do we actually bring it to life? How do we do that in a world that tells us that who we are is not welcome? The first thing I always say is learn to observe ourselves objectively. I always say I have two brains, one that's doing everything and one that's watching the other brain do everything. So think about how we behave. How do you respond? How do you react? How do you think? What is your intuition? And sometimes we do things out of our gut feeling. Don't just trust that gut feeling, actually question it. Because where does our gut feeling come from? It comes from comfort. What is comfortable is what is familiar. Our brains are wired to keep us safe. So our brains are wired to see anything that's not familiar as dangerous, which is why you see this in the world being manifested as, oh, those are other people because they look different. I haven't never had people like that in my neighborhood, so that's not okay. Or even for ourselves, we hold those biases. I know that a lot of the things that I did when I was in survival mode, because I was always operating out of fight or flight or freeze mechanisms, that actually for many years was sabotaging me. Because I'm not in survival mode anymore. I was always in what can go wrong? What can I do to mitigate every risk? And it wasn't until I became conscious of those patterns that I was able to change them. So being conscious, putting awareness, being mindful of how we're thinking, questioning our gut feeling that if we think we're supposed to hire this person or become friends with this person, oh, this person feels right for the job, pause with that. Why do they feel right? Is it because that's what you've always seen in that job? Or is it because they're actually right? Question the fact that are my actions coming from a place of my current values or my past patterns? Current values or past patterns? And give yourself a pause there's always a gap between stimulus and response. And when we pause in that gap, we're able to actually not react, but respond from a thoughtful place.